from, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to answer some questions that I got, and then I have already picked 2 giveaway winners. I decided I wanted to do 2, so stay tuned and I will share those with you as well. Whew. All right, so it's so funny because I asked you guys for questions, and normally I get plenty of questions, and this week I haven't gotten any questions, so I was planning to answer a question that I get all of the time in one form or another, but then this morning I got a ton of questions on Instagram. So I'm going to start with the question that I get all of the time, and I actually got a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, and I answered it privately, but I haven't answered it publicly yet. So I think this is such an important question because I hear it all of the time. And it's the question surrounding I am blank age. Is it too late to start ballet? And I get this question in every form, from like 18-year-olds to 65-year-olds, and everybody is wondering the same thing. Is it too late to start ballet? I think you guys know what my answer is, but you keep asking, so I'm going to say it anyways. The answer is no. No, 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 no. It's never too late to start ballet, right? If you have a desire to be dancing ballet, you're supposed to be dancing ballet. It's not too late, right? So we have to look at, like, what is the context of too late? What does too late mean? And it can mean many different things because it depends on what is framed in that question, right? Are you asking if you can ever be a professional? If you're asking if you can get into a specific company? Are you asking if you can do a specific step? And all of those things are so individual. I can't answer it just, through a DM on Instagram or a comment on YouTube. But what the point is that I really want to get across is that it's never too late to start ballet. It's never too late. And I actually want to ask my community how old you were when you started, because I know we have a lot of people who have started at many different ages. And I think that is the beauty in this community. It's part of what I love so much as like a quote unquote late starter, even though I started at 14, which is still fairly young. I know what it's like to try to enter the ballet world feeling like you're too late, feeling like, what's the point of doing this? Feeling like I love this, but I should probably focus on something, more appropriate, more realistic, etc., etc. But to me, that's total BS. And I really want anyone who feels a desire to be dancing. So I could talk about that for like an hour, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other questions I got. Let me know, guys, in the chat if you could hear me okay. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how old you were when you started dancing. I want this to be a dialogue, not a monologue, so chime in anytime. Okay, so let's see. And I want to give a shout out to, let me find it, hold on. This lovely woman who gave me a bunch of questions this morning. So she gave me plenty to talk about. But I'm also open to take any questions that you have right now as well. Okay, so the first question says, what's it like being married, being a mom, and dancing all together? Well, it is a lot. I think being a mom in and of itself is a lot. I think all the moms can agree. Just being a mom is a lot. And then you add in whatever it else is that you're doing. And with dance, specifically with ballet, it requires a certain amount of time, to stay in it. And I can just super honestly say that since quarantine has happened, I do not feel like I have been in it. I haven't taken but 2 ballet classes since March. And now I've still been teaching ballet, and I've still been doing a lot of movement practice, and I've still been doing like pliés and tendus and stuff like that, but a full class only twice. And so the thing is, though, that's not new to me. I've had 3 babies, so I've taken a lot of breaks from ballet. I've gone through a lot of periods of time where class just isn't able to be a priority, and that's hard. I miss it a lot. And there's a lot of longing to be able to put as much time into it as I did when I was younger. But at the same time, it's like, we make our choices and we do the best that we can. That's why I always try to redirect people who feel like they're too busy or too overwhelmed or too late, is to just start with super basics. Like there's so much available to us in pliés, tendus, and relevés. If I can just get those in at least once a week, I feel a difference. And then that piano toes exercise that I put up on YouTube a couple weeks ago, I've been doing a lot of work on getting in touch with my pelvic floor muscles, which has been like mind blowing. I can't wait to talk more about it, but I can't talk about it until I feel like I really know what I'm talking about. But it's made such a huge difference. So, I think we go through seasons, and being a mom and being a wife and everything like that is my top priority right now, which is why, I don't do like 90% of the stuff that I'd love to be doing online, because I have young kids. My kids are 2, 5, and 8. I homeschool them. My husband's a firefighter, and this year has been full of fires. So it's a lot. And so it's just about prioritizing and doing something consistently. Okay, so I could talk about that a long time too. If you can't tell, I am rather long-winded. I could talk about many things for a long time. I would love to talk to you. Put a comment in. I posted on Instagram the other day about Reels. Reels is like those 15 to 30-second clips. And I was trying to film like some ballet tips. I can't get anything out in 30 seconds. I have too much to say about everything, which is why I'll start to make Instagram stories, and then they'll turn so long that I just decide to make them into an IGTV, because I don't want to make people sit through a bunch of Instagram stories. Okay, another question is, what keeps me dancing and what upsets me about it? What keeps me dancing is like, it's part of me. It's just like an undeniable part of me that I'm always drawn back to. And like, ballet is definitely a part of me too, but dancing in general is something that I don't feel like I can separate from who I am. And so, like I said, I've gone through many long breaks, but I'll always come back, because it's just like a deep rooted extension of who I am and how I express my emotions, how I process my emotions. And like, even in the times where I've taken a break from ballet, I still dance. I dance all day long, guys. Like lately, the only thing that gets me through being basically a single mom in a pandemic is constantly listening to music and dancing like a crazy woman around my house. I mean, my kids, like, honestly, if I stop dancing, they'll come over and ask me what's wrong. So dance is just part of who I am. There's no way that I could leave it. I will dance for the rest of my life, whether it's ballet or not. And then what upsets me about it? What upsets me about it is the garbage, in my opinion, surrounding ballet, that it is so elitist, and that you have to be a certain age or a certain body shape or a certain, you have to be female, or you have to be long-legged, or you have to be 3 years old, or whatever, all of the things that people put around why they can't dance ballet, which I've heard them all. And I'm sure you've felt them. I felt them as well. Ballet, just like any other art form, needs to be open to anyone who feels a pull towards it, because art is healing. And the reason that we feel pulled to an art form, whether it's ballet or painting or singing or whatever, pottery making, is because there's something in us that's attracted to it that needs to express that way. And so it makes me really sad and really upset that people feel those barriers around ballet, that they feel a draw to it, they feel a desire for it, but then they feel like they can't do ballet because it's only for skinny young white girls. So that's what obsessed me about. I'd love to hear from you guys what you love about dancing. Have I ever felt like quitting ballet, and what was my strategy for battling the doubt? Have I ever felt like quitting ballet? Yes, I have, and yes, I have quit, right? So I did a little IGTV that I posted on here on YouTube about my story with depression. That was right at like the start of my ballet career, which would also be the pinnacle of my ballet career if you want to look at it from ballet standards. So I was feeling depressed and burnt out, but determined when I met my husband, my now husband, which I also just posted about because today is our 11-year anniversary. So happy anniversary to me. I was super resistant to the idea of stopping because I didn't want my time with the Joffrey to be the highlight of my career, and I wanted to go far and do a lot of things. I was super unhappy. I wasn't loving ballet anymore. I was depressed. And so I decided to quit ballet. And I quit right at 21 years old. And I moved out to Texas and got married, and I still taught. It took me a little bit. There was a little bit of time where I didn't do anything. And then I started teaching. And when I was in Texas, you know, a lot of people asked me why I didn't audition for companies or do anything, but it was because in my mind I had already quit at the ripe old age of 21. I was done. I was like, I'm not ever going to do that again. And like I said, though, I can't quit ballet. So I continued dancing and teaching and performing with little side projects and stuff like that. But I've also taken breaks every time I've had kids. I've continued teaching, except I did take a long break from teaching right after my second child because I felt like that was what was expected of me. But anyways, I've definitely felt like quitting ballet many times because when you get stuck in your head and you decide that ballet should only look a certain way or express a certain way, or it's only worthwhile if if you're getting paid and doing everything the way that it's presented in social media, you can really spiral down into being like, why am I doing this? Which is why I encourage everyone to be journaling and to define their why they dance for themselves. You saw that video that we made like a month ago now about why I dance. There were so many more answers that didn't make it into that video that were so beautiful. And I really encourage everyone to journal on that, because having that why is what I always come back to now. So I kind of described it in the answer to the last question, but why I dance is because I have to dance. I have to dance. It is part of me. It is how I express my emotions. It is when I feel most alive, most connected to my body, most embodied in who I am. And so, what was the second half of that? What's my strategy for battling doubt is to really get super clear on that why. And then, like in class, if I'm battling doubt in class, which I think we've all been there, right? Where you're in class, you're doing something, and maybe you're having a hard day or whatever. What helps me in the moment is if I close my eyes for a second and I do a couple breaths, and then I decide to just focus on my hand and just focus on the way my hand moves or the way my head moves, or maybe even the way that my foot is moving. So I pick one body part, I focus on that, and I think, what if you couldn't move this body part? How much would you miss this? And so then I just dive really deep into gratitude and enjoyment of moving my body. It brings me back to the present moment. It brings me back to gratitude. And I remind myself that we only live once, so might as well have fun and get out of your head. And that really does help. Okay, other question. What is one wish of mine? Okay, I'm going to go super big here. My wish is to I would love to facilitate in any way possible, even just the idea, and then maybe someone else is the one who takes it. I would love for there to be like ballet retreats where people who have this desire and longing to do ballet come and they work on their limiting beliefs and their mindset and their healing of their body and their brain as they learn ballet, as they perform ballet. I want there to be more performances for adults. I want there to be more intensives and opportunities for adults who want to learn. And I just want ballet to become a place of healing instead of damage. Um, and I have just this big pictures in my head of, you know, photo shoots and where adults can learn variations and perform, and at the same time they're getting like that deep body spiritual healing. I feel like ballet has so much potential for healing. So that's my big wish. My little wish is that it will stop snowing. No, I'm just kidding. It's snowing right here. I'm going to show you. It's going to blind you. Can you see all that snow? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Earlier, just a few days ago, it was 70 degrees. Snow is good, though, for the fires. Okay. I know I'm blowing through these really fast, but today's my anniversary. I'm going on a date. So, another question. How long does that purple dye last on your hair? She says that she dyed hers semi-permanent purple and it faded in 3 days. I actually got this question on Instagram, I think a week ago. Joyco. I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram. Joyco Amethyst Purple is what I use on my hair. Before that, I used Overtone. It kind of worked, but I've been really liking the Joyco. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Like I said, I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram. I got my hair professionally purpled a year ago, and it washed out in like less than 2 weeks. I was super disappointed because it costs a lot of money. And this one lasts pretty well. I would say it lasts me about a month, and then you can still kind of see it, but well, maybe more than a month. I don't know, 6 weeks. But I really like it. Last question, unless you guys have any questions, is where'd it go? What is one thing I lost it again. What is one thing you regret doing, not doing? I think this is a beautiful question. I was just having a conversation with a friend a week ago about how we all say, I don't regret anything because it took me right where I am. And I don't totally subscribe to that. I mean, I do subscribe to the fact that all of our choices brought us exactly where we are, that we're where we're supposed to be. But I think it's okay for us to have regrets in the way of it's okay for us to wish we had done something differently, but not to dwell there, right? Because obviously everything happens for a reason. Everything that you've experienced creates who you are now. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I think it's important to acknowledge things that we could have done differently. So one of the big things for me is actually quitting ballet. Like, I regret the way that I quit ballet because it wasn't an intentional quit. It wasn't like I really thought it through and I really went with my heart. It was that I let all of these other voices get to me, and then I kind of just stopped. And then I just kind of decided to continue to stop because of lack of self-confidence and ego issues. So I would love to go back and talk to my 21-year-old self, but I can't. So instead I talk to you guys and I say, please, please don't let either expectations out here or expectations in here that are reflecting the ones out here determine how long you dance, how you dance, and how you show up in the world. And that's why I made this YouTube channel, and that's why I talk about what I do, because everything that I share with you is something that I wish I could tell my younger self. And let's see, anything else that I regret? Basically just the entirety of my life that I've lived in a desire to not be wrong and to please other people. I've talked a lot about my people-pleasing tendencies. They are very strong. And I think it's only been in the last year that I've really learned how to make my own decisions and talk about what I want to talk about and stand up for what I believe in and become who I am. And it's still a journey, but you know, and I didn't even realize that I wasn't making my own decisions or that I was letting other people make my decisions until this year. So just gotta grow with it, learn it, and then share it. That's what I think. Okay, it's time. The giveaway winners. The giveaway winners. So I realize I don't want to share people's email addresses with the internet. So I'm just going to share the name and then I will email you and I'll share part of your email so that you can recognize it if it's you. So the first giveaway winner that I drew, I was the only one who drew them, was number 150, and it was Jennifer. And your email address starts with Maggie May, and then I won't share the rest of it, but I will be emailing you, Jennifer, and then I will be shipping you a whole point journal. Super excited to do so. And then the second giveaway winner was, I do not know how to pronounce this, so I'm going to try. If I butcher it, please forgive me, and then I'll show you what I wrote. Sana Pistime, and I will email you as well. I'm super excited to send you these journals. All right, guys, I appreciate you more than you know, really, I do. As I've said to everyone that I've had the opportunity of having Zoom calls with in the last 6 months, your time and your energy are your most valuable resources. And so the fact that you guys share any of that with me is truly an honor. And I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your encouragement, your constant inspiration. And just getting to know you guys is my absolute favorite thing. If you didn't sign up for my email list yet, I will put a link below. In that welcome email, I asked you questions, and I mean it. I want you to reply back to me. I want to get to know you. It's my favorite part. I know, like at the end of all of my YouTube videos, I always say, you know, leave a comment. Getting to know you guys is my favorite part. Thank you. I just talked about how I purple it. I really like it too. But seriously, getting to know you guys is my favorite thing to do. Basically, it's the only reason I make YouTube videos. It's to make more ballet friends because I can't build a better ballet community by myself. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any other questions, leave them below. Yo, oop, this is Joyco, in case you missed that. Purple your own hair at home. Yes, I cut, bleached, and purpled my own hair during quarantine. And in fact, guys, I filmed the whole thing. I filmed the whole process of cutting, bleaching, and purpling my hair, and then I never posted it because I'm always like, I filmed a bunch of things during quarantine, like a day in the life, tie-dyeing stuff. I tried self-tanner for the first time. I did my hair, and then I never posted because I'm like, oh, it's not ballet related. Nobody cares. So let me know in the comments if you want to see any of those videos that I made during quarantine, and also let me know what other videos you guys would like to see. I did just do a quick filming this week, and I videoed a series of ballet terminology tips, just kind of like working through some basic beginner ballet terminology. One of the reasons I haven't posted a lot of ballet tutorials recently, I don't know if you've noticed, I've been posting a lot of like IGTV talkie videos, but it's because I've been having issues with my phone and my computer and my camera. And like I filmed like a whole center adagio and center follow along and a bunch of arabesque videos. It was like a month and a half ago now. I filmed all of those, and then when I watched it back, it was like none of it's usable. It goes blurry because I go out of focus. The lighting's off. I'm a one-woman show, and like we talked about earlier, I'm quarantined with my 3 young children, homeschooling them alone. So yeah, I'm hoping I filmed that quick series on ballet terminology this Thursday on my phone. And so, you know, they're pretty basic, simplistic videos, but I'll be getting those out, and then hopefully I'll be able to get a new camera soon. I just got a new computer, so I have to save up some more before I can get a new camera. And yeah, but I would love to hear from you what you want to see on this channel as we head forward. 5,000 of you, let me know. I want this channel to be for you. So let me know. Okay, guys. Cheers to 5,000 subscribers. Cheers to those two winners, Jennifer and Santa. I will be emailing you, get your addresses, and I'll send these out. If you want to join the community, you can. I'll definitely be doing more giveaways of these journals and other things. We open the doors for the Beyond Ballet community in January. We're having such a good time in there. Let me know if you have any questions about that. And then I still have the Ballet Journal Jumpstart. It's not too late to jump in there and get started on your ballet journaling habit. I would say now is the best time before we get into holiday nutcracker craziness. All right, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.